What's up? Today's video is going to be about YouTubing 101. It is going to be my general overview of how to YouTube, and then we will move on as the videos go on into more specific things. Fact of the day is, back in the 1800s, 19th century, anthropology was a thing. It had just bloomed into a science. Back in the day, the only way that people were anthropologists culturally, because there are different aspects of anthropology, was by rich white men sitting in an armchair listening to the tales of people who went out into the world. And those were the anthropologists, the man sitting in the chair, not the one who went out and watched the culture. So it was called armchair anthropology now. It wasn't called that then. And so these white men who had never seen anyone of a different color in their lives were the people who taught people about different cultures. And the tales, of course, there was no description, there was no written account or video account or anything. It was just these stories that these other men told to each other. So oftentimes they were extravagant. The people who they watched turned into cannibals because they could make that up, and they were savages, so why not? So that is interesting to me always. Racism! That's my fact of the day. Now let's get into this YouTubing 101. So the first thing you need to do when you want to start a YouTube channel is create an account. Google Plus is how you make an account because YouTube is attached to Google Plus. So you have to have a Google email, a Gmail account, and then open an account, make a password, put on a little profile picture or choose your channel name and blah blah blah, and then boom, you have an account. Then you have to decide what the heck you're going to make a video about. People choose to make videos about things that they like to watch videos about. For example, I started out in the beauty community because that was all I really knew existed, and that was where I was finding my entertainment when I started making YouTube videos. And then slowly I found booktube, and then all of a sudden I realized that this is a much better environment and something I'm even more passionate about than makeup and hair and stuff. So that's where I turned to eventually. And it's okay to evolve your channel like that. Don't be afraid to move into something else that you are interested in, or make a channel and have both beauty and books on them if you want. A lot of people are scared to do that, and I don't know why really. So either make 2 accounts or just focus on one with both things on it. It doesn't really matter. What you put on your channel is all about what you want to put on your channel. Then you need a camera and some place to film at. Personally, I use a Canon T3i to film, and then I put it on an actual tripod. I also have lights here that you can not see, but here is the end of it. And then I sit in front of my bookcase. Obviously, as of right now, I used to sit at my countertop, and then I used to sit before that on my couch. So it just depends on where I'm comfortable, and right now I feel comfortable in front of my bookshelf. If you don't have a nice camera, that's okay. You just need something that has decent quality, and that doesn't mean you need to have a Canon T3i quality, but you do need to have something that's not too grainy, because if you're using something that's too grainy, then people are going to click off your video. It is a sad fact, but it is true. The iPhone has great quality, and so I assume that most Android phones also have great quality, because the iPhone doesn't have the best camera on the market as far as phones go, so you can use your phone if you want to. It's more important about how you angle your phone, how you angle your camera. Make sure not to angle it down. You want to put it up on something, either a tripod, or which they do have adaptations for phones if you're using a phone, or you can stack up books, or you can use a desk or a countertop or something if you're on the floor, or however you can do it, but make sure that the angle is not below you. It needs to be straight on or slightly above, like mine is right now. And lighting. If you don't have lights like I do, which my lights aren't even that great, I need to get new ones, you can use natural light. So sit in front of a window. That's all you need to do in order to get great lighting, and obviously film during the day. The next thing I want to mention is that you should practice your first video before you upload it. Film it, and then watch it, and then film it again, and then watch it, and then maybe even film it a 3rd time and then watch it, and then choose the best product of the 3 or 2, because the first time you sit in front of a camera with no one in the room, hopefully, and you start talking to it, it's awkward. It's weird. You're not actually talking to anyone. It's like you're making a speech to no one because no one is physically there to watch you speak. And if you're afraid of public speaking, then that could be a whole nother problem, but it's awkward at first. So film it a couple times to make sure that you kind of get the jitters out and that you can talk loud enough that you're not whispering because you're nervous. A few things to help make that a little bit less awkward is, like I said previously, be alone in the room or even in the house. Like when I filmed and I lived at my mom's house, it was always way more awkward when I knew someone was in the house, just because you're thinking about it even if they can't necessarily hear you. Like Matt is right there. I made him put headphones on because I feel uncomfortable when he's here when I film. Usually I'm home alone because that's how I like it. So that might make it a little bit more or less awkward. Less awkward if you're alone. And don't be afraid to move around. You can film standing up if you have something to make your camera high enough. If you are a mover, I am a talker of my hands, so I like to have some space to move. Just like, don't feel constrained by the camera, don't feel constrained by the fact that it's a little bit awkward. Talk louder than you think you need to, because I guarantee you are talking quieter than you usually talk the first time you film a video. So talk a little bit louder the first time you film. Edit your videos. Edit them. You can get free editing products. I think iMovie on the Apple products now are like $15. $15 isn't that much though. I mean, if you can't afford it, then you can find free editing programs on the Mac. I don't really know what they are because I always used iMovie and then I used Final Cut Pro, but you can find them. So use a free editing program if you need to, or even YouTube has an editing program in its Creator Studio. I've never used it because I don't know how to use it. It looks confusing, but I'm sure there are YouTube videos of how to use the program. Use those YouTube videos because you can learn everything on YouTube. If you've been here long enough, you know that. I know Windows Movie Maker is a free program on the Windows computers, so use an editing program. Edit your videos. The best thing to do is edit out all of the pauses and edit out all of the ums, uhs, thinking faces. And then you will be mostly golden. And then obviously as you learn editing, you will know better like how to make it more like you want it, either making it funnier or making it more dramatic, adding music and things like that. Don't forget to take a thumbnail, which I just realized I forgot to do for my previous video that I just filmed. When you make your YouTube channel, in the settings, you want to become a YouTube partner, and that's how you can make your own thumbnails and choose your own thumbnails instead of having to choose between the 3 that they give you as an option that are just screenshots from your video. So make sure to do that, and that way you can make your own thumbnails. Thumbnails are so important. It is what makes people click on your video, especially because you are nobody. Nobody knows who you are except for your friends who you told about this channel. So obviously they will watch it, but the random people on the YouTube that will find you are going to find you by looking at that thumbnail. So you want it to look nice. And that could mean that you use a better camera to take the picture. What matters is its quality, and that doesn't mean that it has to be a good camera that you take the picture with. It just means that it has to be well edited. So I use Photoshop for my thing, but PicMonkey is a good choice. It is a free website that you can use to edit pictures, and so you can use that to edit your thumbnails. You want to make sure that it just looks nice. You can put text on it if you want. You can border it or however you want to. Usually I put the text of what the title thing is, just in case my title is too long and so it gets cut off in like the recommended or the subscription box or whatever, and that way people can see what it's named. How do you make friends on YouTube? By talking to people. Comment on people's videos. And not just the big YouTubers, which can be important because even if you don't end up talking to the big YouTuber that you are watching, like Tyler Oakley, he's probably not going to respond to your comment. But if you say something, then someone else might see it and like what you said, and then they might start talking to you, and then you might make a friend that way. The other most important part of commenting though are on other people's videos that are the smaller YouTubers within the community that you're looking to be a part of. I started making friends by messaging Red from Little Red Reader on Goodreads of all places, because we had both posted our channels on Meet Booktubers near your area or whatever, and I said, hey, I see you live in California, I live in California, I just watched your channel and subscribed, I like you, let's be friends. And then she went and watched my channel and realized that she liked me and thought that we would be friends. She introduced me to all of the other Bibliothon girls, and boom. And I also have made friends with other YouTubers, with other booktubers specifically, by just commenting on their videos regularly when I watch them. And then they comment on my videos if they also subscribe to me, or they realize that I comment all the time, so they went on, looked at my channel, and then they subscribe to me, or the other way around. Comment on each other's videos, follow people on Twitter if you're on Twitter. Twitter is a great place to conversate with people on the YouTubes, because that is the most common place and the easiest place for you to publicly start a conversation. So how do you make your channel look professional for the industry in which you are trying to look at? This is more specifically going to be for booktubers, since that is what I focus on and that is how I work my channel. Most of these things can probably be applied to any industry that is type of reviewing industry. The most important things to look professional are things like the thumbnails, video quality, channel art quality, and all of that jazz. You want to make sure that you have a business email that isn't fuckme69@gmail.com inappropriate. You want to make sure it's something either related to your channel or just more professional than that for an email. You can also use intros and the end cards, like at the end of my videos with the video that is now and then the previous video in the corner. Those all make your channel look a little bit more put together, along with the channel art and the thumbnails and all that stuff, in order to make it look like you actually spent some time on these videos. If they look well done, then they will look professional. So it's not like YouTube is this professional place where it has to be all snooty and you have to wear a bow tie to work or anything. It's more about making sure that it looks like you put work into your content. I want to talk about Adsense real fast, because that is how you make money on YouTube when you are not a big YouTuber, and it is not anything significant. It takes time, but it does add up slowly. You can create an Adsense account and then you attach it to your channel. I think it's in the Creator Studio in like Analytics, and that's how you get to the sign up page, and then you sign up with an email address, and then you add your YouTube channel name and blah 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 blah, and then that's how those ads on your computers and monetize your videos, then they will make you some money. So that is how people make money on YouTube before they are big. The only other thing I would say is to use all of the social media that is at your exposure or at your disposal. Get a Twitter account. Use Instagram, Facebook page, make one, have a blog if you blog too. Anything and everything is always good in order to support your channel and in order to get the word out there. Don't spam people by saying, hey, I'm a new YouTuber and go look at my channel. But if you're constantly making videos and you're just tweeting it out saying, hey, here it is, eventually people will see it. And so that's kind of how to get the word out. I think that is everything for general YouTubing 101, how to YouTube. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Comment down below any places of this video or other areas of this type of YouTubing 101 that you want to see. Comment them down below. Comment down below if this helped at all. And I will see you guys very soon with a new video. Bye!